Are we on? Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Microphone check. Lights. Cameras. Hit me. This is swanky. This is lifestyle. This is culture. Welcome to the social center of everything culture. Culture Daily.
Well, we could play this song over and over again. I just love the visuals of that video. Good Sin by the man Olive the Boy. And watch out, it's got a remix. Word tells us that it's got a remix coming up very, very soon. So with some greats in there. So big shouts going out to the Full Circle team making that happen. Turning lives around, I can say. Anyway, you still logged on to Culture Daily. And that earlier on you watched Isil for AC come on there with Trending Live, giving you updates from TikTok Thursdays and all the updates. And that video with the kid talking back at the dad. Putting the dad straight and in check. Bold move, I must say. Equally, I don't think if any of us tried it here, you'll be getting the whooping of your life. The whooping of your life. Jesus' name, amen. You stammer. You just had a stammer, right? Listen, now what if you could win 5,000 Ghana cedis cash whilst helping build schools in Ghana, or win iPhones whilst helping renovate local hospitals? Well, you can thank mayeko.com, mayekoo.com. Now it's a social impact crowdfunding. Crowdfunding. I just halted.
We are trying him out for the English show. So
it's a social impact crowdfunding platform. You know, it's a lot of things. You know, that has teamed up with non-profits to raise funds for essential projects to improve our community. You know, that's my manifesto. Now, but here's what makes Mayeko different. I'm telling you, preach on, Jay, preach on. Now, every time you support a project on Mayeko, you automatically enter to win incredible prizes like cash, iPhones, iPads, and many, many, many more. All right, it's no scam. It's registered with the Ghana National Lottery Authority. It's regulated also by NLA on the Caritas Lottery platform. Terms and conditions definitely apply. Mayeko empowering society to dream very, very, very big. Have you heard about the gift of music? Well, we launched that product or that campaign here on 3 Music's Culture Daily with Bang and Olufsen. We've got new products as well. You might want to go and check out the new products. Man, sound quality guaranteed, high-end products, affordable pricing. Go and check it out. Atlantic Towers, Liberation Road, you find it inside Airport City. And also, since we're getting towards the weekend, some movies showing at the Silverbird Cinemas will excite you. You want to watch Paw Patrol, you want to watch Wonka, Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom, Expendables 4. All these are great movies at Silverbird. Make inquiries now. Call 0544 310-140, 310-140 as displayed on the screen right now. And check out the website. It's silverbirdcinemas.com/Accra or /West Hills Mall. Do you know that money changes people? Do you know? The last door you got, did it change you? You know, when you get money, you feel like you're on top of the world. Charlie, when you have money, listen, it's sweet. Oh, listen, when you have money and money's sweet, I'm giving you a chance to make some money this Thursday morning. Try it out right now. Dial *959#. Dial it right now and try the 590 mobile. They say at Dawonsem. Play the game smartly, please. Play responsibly. It's not for persons below the age of 18. It will require you to do some staking and some betting in there. 590 mobile Dawonsem. Play it right now. Let me know what you think as well. Come back to me. We're waiting for that feedback from you. You're hungry this morning? Check out Breakfast to Breakfast inside Osu or District 24 inside East Legon. You'd enjoy some real good delicacies, some meals you just is worth coming home to, or more like worth coming to the restaurant. Yeah. You don't believe that? Go and check out their socials. You'll see the kind of meals posted on there. Great ambience is a place to be. District 24's IG is DSTRKT_24. Breakfast to Breakfast _Ghana equally on Instagram. You will love it. Come with your squad, experience live cooking in the open kitchen and enjoy the world's taste under one roof at District 24. And whilst I'm at District 24, don't forget, on the 1st of December, Abontin season, we're launching it big time. We'll all be at Cloud 9 inside Usu Rooftop opposite Frankie's. You find us there. It's going to be great. That's how we're launching our campaign, telling you that, listen, you can catch all the excitement, everything happening this festive season right here on 3 Music TV. We are going all out. Full coverage. You get experiences right here. So don't worry if you miss out on it. You can catch it here on 3 Music TV. And we are launching that title, the Abontin season. Well, it's going to be exciting. Don't miss out on it. 1st of December, it's a holiday, Friday night. Come by 8 p.m. We'll be there with our Plus FM squad. You can't miss out on there. Before I tell you about brushing your teeth, I tell you what. The man is in the building. Let me take time to give you his a breakdown of who he is. He's the first man to go to the moon. When he came back, he brought a lot of goodie bags as well. His name is Mr. Robert Klah. Mr. Robert Klah is live in the studio, ladies and gentlemen. Now, of course, he's the CEO of Dance Terra, also the founder of the Ghana Dance Festival and Awards, which will be happening very, very soon. Later on, we'll touch on that as well. But he's got tons of knowledge to share with us when we talk about dance. And you know how dance has evolved, right? Robert, welcome to the studio.
Thank you, Chief.
You wear different caps today, and it's not Chowder House.
yeah. Today we're in a dance mode.
Dance mode.
Yeah.
Yes. It's all good. Charlie, it's good to have you join us in the studio.
Thank you.
It's going to be great.
Certainly. Always, Charlie.
You know, it's sad that in this room alone, I don't think any of us can dance.
Oh, no. you guys can, except that you don't dance the defined dance types.
Have you ever thought...
We might invent our own thing.
You know what I mean? And there's room.
Innovation. Pump it down.
There's room to invent your own dance. I like that. You know, and it's quite interesting. Either we haven't caught up with dancing in the new trends, we haven't caught up, or the dance trends have just, you know...
They just become too complicated for you
a place.
Yeah, but you did dance. I know.
Like no! I had dance. Yeah. It's dance therapy.
I just think so.
Oh, Charlie, bro, I dance, bro.
Charlie, break down. Let's see something. What bid you want?
You know, but you know who taught Afronita in endurance?
Hey.
Oh, Charlie.
Sorry.
It's dance therapy.
It is.
Does it lean towards therapy or exercise? Which is which?
Both. Dance is an art. Dance is an element of culture. It is a discipline of academia. Mm-hmm. It is a sport.
Charlie, this discipline of academia, they be like the two shots or somebody.
Oh yeah, it is. It is what it is.
I didn't catch it. I didn't catch it.
Oh, Dr. Kaufman.
Oh,
the National Science and Mass statement.
Oh, how did you feel about that statement? You know, with the
arts and
as a matter of, you have to probably repeat what she said. I don't remember.
She said while people are rehearsing, some other people are dancing.
Yo, I told you when we go out and I give the eye, don't try to stumble, bro.
I thought it was the AC.
Don't try to stumble. I need to interview Cyril's mother.
That's why I do.
When you go outside, comport yourself.
But she said that. She said it in a Ghanaian context.
She just said it in jest.
Where in Ghana,
what's
you mean? There can be nothing profitable from this venture. You understand? Or you get what I'm saying?
What do you make of that? I mean,
first of all, I understand that she said it in context, and that's supposed to be. So the focus is you guys are supposed to be rehearsing for a particular project, and you're doing something else.
Yeah.
The example. Not the example. The other thing or the something else that she used is what felt a bit wrong, almost as though it didn't really matter. And communication, it is communication. You can say something and mean one thing, but it can mean something else. And so I think that is where the backlash is coming from, the fact that, you know, the interpretation of what she said has a different meaning. So it's fallen on wrong ears, and definitely they're asking for it to be addressed. But reality is there is no way dance should be made to feel negative or should make like SAPA or whatsoever, because it is the pathway for certain people to express themselves and have career and feed their families, and also have living in this world. So obviously it has to be given the due respect it deserves.
There's this very interesting question I want to ask before we even touch on street dance. I hope I'm able to construct my sentence as well for us to get meaning from it. And it's also feeding off from what Professor Kaufman said. Is it because we have sort of seen the rise of influencers on social media, especially TikTok, who are profiting from the art of dancing? Is that why we feel that has become a career, something that you can take on as a full-time career?
Well,
I don't know if I am making sense a bit from what I'm saying.
Yes, you're making sense. So what you are saying has to deal more with the.
Sorry, let me wrap up. Let me finish the question. I'm adding more to it so that nobody takes me out of context.
Okay.
When we go to university and we learn the art of dancing, now that kind of dance has got meanings, has elements of certain traditional culture, the values in there. It shows, it can actually tell where you're coming from, all those things. There's a certain art and there's some morals to those dances. Now we are in a certain space of street dancing, and the street dancing is what we are seeing a lot of these new social influencers, jump in. It's very freestyle, it's crazy, it's I don't want to say, it's all that. It's exciting. Is it because they have turned there's need for what they do that has made it a career? Or it's just a flash in the pan, something that if we don't take care might just
You think the dust will settle?
The dust will settle. It's just a moment that the world is going through, and it just might. A few years ago when you watched you let me just hear from you first before I.
Okay, so for anything to be a career, then it must first of all have a need. And then the need has to be sustained over a period, so that other people would want to step into that particular space, and then it continues over and over again. So you can clearly say this is a career path I would like to pursue. And career is it's not necessarily a job, but it's something that you want to do for a longer period. So that's the difference between maybe career and a job. And so the question here is, are people actually pursuing dance for the long haul? Yes, they are. Has it been popular in the past? It used to be. Then what happened? It dipped after a while, but then it's back. Why is it back? Because an avenue has been given to dancers for them to be able to trumpet that, and that is social media. Because I remember several times when I really wanted to project dance, talk about dance, dance festival, going here and there, knocking on doors, asking for sponsorship or asking for people to feature me on platforms for engagements, and it was tough. It was difficult. Then I realized that I had needed a means goal, which was to create Dance Terra as a television program, to be able to use it as a mouthpiece, to be able to promote everything I wanted to do. And the creation of that literally gave me the ability to be able to put more content of dance on television, because at some point we were about 6 TV stations, or I think even 8, and that meant that we could broadcast our content freely without it being diluted or being being influenced by anybody. And that simply meant that we could project we could use a platform as a mouthpiece for music, for dance, and that literally helped in building up the community and doing all the events that we did. So social media has been a blessing to us, and that is the reason why a lot more people are aware of what we are doing in that particular space, and certainly would want to take career in that particular path.
Does the requirement of actually not having to go through any institution or any sort of validation or certification in any way pose as a threat to the space, or it is okay?
Without going through an institution, you will still get through the institution of society. Society will validate you.
Let me add this to the question.
Okay.
You see, guys, the way one of my biggest fears of social media is that nobody
becoming too philosophical.
I know.
Break it down.
I know. I'm coming to it. I'm coming to it. No.
I told you that we are trying something new. So this guy usually doesn't host.
I forget the question. Nobody has lived the fullness of digital media we just entered, and nobody has lived 50 years in digital media to see what the end results would be. So we can't tell the future now. We can only just hope that its evolution, can be guided in a way that people would not turn it into some platform that is chaotic and just cause a lot of havoc. We don't know the future of it yet. We can only make predictions. So when you say how some of these social media apps and stuff, these digital platforms have now influenced and created careers and jobs out of all these things, then I asked again that are these a threat to our own self?
Okay, so they haven't created careers. They've created awareness of an opportunity within the dance space, which is the dance career itself. Dance can be expressed on multiple platforms, and one of the platform is the social media platform. So let's just have the social media as a platform. It is not the career. You understand the hand? So for as long as we keep having multiple platforms to be able to express ourselves audiovisual wise, dancers will certainly use these platforms, either now or in the future. You understand? Because dancers existed or were active prior to social media. And social media just gave them the opportunity to be able to express it. And that's why it's become huge and big. Because, social media platform is about audiovisual. And one of the key things you always want to see on a platform is dance. So that's the reason why it became like...
We have always seen... One of the reasons why, high life music is suffering where what it is now is because it's seen as old school music or old people music, ancient Ghanaian music, So there's no coolness to it any longer unless there's an intentionality from our side that let us make it cool. Then we can start looking at it again. The traditional space, and I know we're talking street dance, but how much of a threat again does street dance in itself? And the street dance, unless my understanding of street dance is wrong, but we're making reference, so I want to use a typical example as a new age of dancers and what they do there. Serials, this thing. Yeah. How much of a threat is this to the traditional dances? Because we're talking dance. Those cultural dances, yes, and all those things. Because we are in a certain space and time now that you only see that when the president is arriving at the airport. That's when you can appreciate it. Or the president's about to give a speech at the 75th.
Dignitary is dead.
Then we come and see all that, and that's the only point that we get to appreciate that. We don't see that constantly on socials or being studied by a certain new crop of generation. Does street dance in itself pose as a threat to what these traditional dances could have been? Or it's an evolution?
Okay, you could say it poses as a threat, and that is why you always have to be deliberate and intentional about elements of culture, because if you are not, then you are leaving what is popular to take over. Because what's popular is what is within the spaces right now. So one of the key things I remember we started doing was to introduce the traditional dance competition. We created a concept around it where one of the rounds we asked competitors to pick any of the existing songs, popular songs, and dance traditional dance steps to it, so that it would get them, or it would get everybody to see how you can creatively pick things from the traditional setting and place it upon modern day music. And it worked. So that's one of the big things we'll be going big on, from this particular season onwards. Hopefully.
How did they react to that?
It was fantastic. It was extremely fun. Like, it was beautiful. And we actually even had a battle. We had people battling. So if it's Adowa, you are battling Adowa kind of stuff. So it's that vibe. And so clearly, if you leave things as they are on their own, yes, what is popular will take over. And that is the urban nature of things happening. However, if we are deliberate and intentional about how we can utilize what we have traditionally, then at the end of the day, we'll find ways and means to maintain them or bring them to the forefront and keep them running. And
how are we going to do that? Because honestly, like I'm saying, and I'm coming back to it, look, it's only when you grow and you mature, then you realize that some things that some rich cultural values that we had are just dying out and getting extinct, as equal as how animals are getting extinct. And it's a cause to worry, but you don't see that worry when you are young. You only start realizing that worry, feeling the worry as you age, like ourselves. So now you're looking back at these things, and I'm saying to myself that, okay, I do recall that when I was in school, in primary JHS, yes, there were these things happening. When you tune into TV, back in the time, the only TV station like GTV, there were cultural programs where you see kids dancing these. Now we've gone into a stage of, where it's there are no borders to social media. You can't tell anybody what to do any longer. And even in that crowd, cybercrime unit cannot even just still catch everyone except Demon, who was recently arrested. I know, right? But now what are some of these intentionalities that we have to do to make our cultural dances and dancing cool again?
Good. So one of the things I've mentioned actually speaks to it. The fact that I introduced a competition bit, because then at the end of the day, it gives you a different feel and expression or perception about that particular dance. Now, we also need to be able to have that on our television stations more. Because sometimes you don't really get to see them. And when you don't get to see them, there isn't much about it that you are going to feel about it. And if we are going to be intentional, then it should be taught in the schools, because it's part of our culture identity. So basically, you need to learn about it and learn how to dance it. Well, not everybody would excel, but at least some impartation has been done, and that kind of skill is developed. And once it's given prominence on multiple platforms in terms of events, social events and stuff like that, eventually, somehow, some way, it should be able to find its ground. I think one of the biggest challenges a lot of people have also expressed the fact that it is what it is in terms of if this is the format. When we are talking about Agbaja, it's Agbaja like this is how it is, or Palogo, this is how it is. And 13 years ago, it was like that. And 20 years ago, it was like that. And so if they've seen it over and over again, then it just feels the same. You understand? So then how, for something of an artistic value, you're always looking for creativity to, be brought to the fore. And that is what necessitated the need for us to find a twist to it in a competition, just so that it looks fresh when it is presented on modern day music. And that's how come we actually had to add that. But I understand that there's a general challenge in that particular space. I may not have all the answers, but it has to be the concerted effort of a lot of people.
I just had to touch on that before I now come to the street dance. What I wouldn't say benefits, what opportunities have this new wave of street dancing presented to us now?
Because you're yet to come to street dance. When they say street dance, you have to define it. But however,
let's define that. Let's define it first.
Okay, so technically speaking, we have the ballroom dance types, and then we also have
ballroom. That's me and her.
Yes, so it's more like the couple dance.
So
the couple dance types, like it's like this. Yeah, the swing.
Charlie, that one crowd, we don't have to see it. It was supposed to be for the weddings, but now the weddings, Charlie.
Oh, not necessarily.
What is that one that they put their hand behind the girl's waist and then she did
what?
Salsa?
No,
Kizomba.
Deadly.
Yeah. So
naked weapon.
Yeah. So those that
naked weapon.
The dance types that were found. The dance types that were found in the well-structured, institutions that were being taught ballroom, that was differentiated from the ones that were found on the streets. So hence, street dance. You understand? So in that particular sense, everything we are seeing from the Afro dance and all the break dance and everything is classified under street dance, technically. So you're asking what's social media?
Yes. What's opportunities? So in feel good terms, what has it done for us now?
So expression and the fact that you get to see you get to see what I have. So you see, prior to social media, I have a CV, but you can't see it. I can do a particular dance, nobody gets to see it until I'm on a platform. Like, I needed to be on somebody's platform to be visible. But here, with social media, my CV is placed on it. And by my CV, what I'm talking about is me putting up a dance. You promote it, and everybody and anybody is able to see. If you love it, I can share it. It's easier. Like, basically you connect, and then the whole world gets to see what you're made up of. And it makes you a star, and because people have become stars, it gives you markets, because then people who are looking for you can clearly identify where you are, who you are, and eventually say, okay, come, I've seen you do this stuff, come and do it for me, that kind of stuff. So that is what social media gave artists, basically gave you the ability to be able to create your own platform and run with it, the business thereof.
Now that you touched on artists, I know I have a lot of questions to ask. Now that you touched on artists, I think I mentioned this to you prior to our conversation on dance patenting. Now, the likes of, I look at King Promise was on stage was it in the US or UK recently?
US, Atlanta.
Atlanta. The last one that
State Farm, yeah.
Yeah. And when he was singing his song, his big hit Terminator, and they got to that part, and then they had to do all those things, the screwdriver thing they do. I don't know.
Screwdriver.
Yeah, I mean they lock something.
You know Big Gardner thing?
Bro, I don't know what this is, but it does something.
It's shooting.
Yeah, it's shooting.
Yeah.
Oh,
Terminator.
everybody just don't know.
Never been to a gun range.
But I don't know how guns are not turned that way.
No, it's an Afrobeat gun.
Bro,
it's
like
an Afrobeat gun.
Terminator.
Terminator.
So he uses scissors. They use scissors.
I know because they do, so I never really understood it though.
The gardeners they use now.
Yeah, those big ones.
Yeah.
So dance patenting. Now, could he have patented that move?
I mean, Dance God Lloyd.
Yes, Dance God Lloyd.
I mean, in fact,
are there any missed
even in this conversation,
be Dance Lloyd White.
Even in this conversation, who gets to own the dance move, right? Because without the song, there is the choreography.
Right? That's a very difficult one.
That was you took my only strong question. Was saying no.
Who gets to patent the move?
Okay, so the choreography,
yes,
is by Dance God Lloyd.
That's right.
Yes, so that's him.
But it was to a song.
Yes, the song is for
King Promise.
As a matter of fact, if you get into the song, you'd also realize that the instrumentation is not for King Promise.
That's fair.
Which everybody knows, and we always talk about giving credit to who
the royalties.
Yeah, exactly. And when it comes to royalties, you know that the instrumentation, whoever did the music, and this I'm saying music to create a distinction between the music and the song.
Okay.
The music is by somebody.
Okay.
And the person will get the royalties.
Okay.
Yeah. King Promise's bit, at the end of the day, the fact that he added the lyrics and created whatever they have created, they are also known for it, and they will get their worth in terms of royalties. Okay. So if you now add there's another layer. This layer is now a choreography. And who is the owner of that particular choreography? It's Lloyd. So you realize that music is a composite product. Video is also a composite product plus another layer.
Okay.
You understand what I'm saying?
Okay.
Yeah, so the layers are the first bit being the instrumentation. Even there, when you get in there, you will see that there are different people who sometimes contribute to the instrumentation before you now come to adding the lyrics. And then you now come to adding the choreography in this particular case to say that these are the layers put together for us to create this hamburger of music.
Okay. So, years ago, hip-hop had that type of situation. More so on the streets. You hear a hip-hop beat and there's break dancing and all that. It became part of the culture of hip-hop, right? Are we doing the same for Afrobeats? Where Afrobeats is also, the choreographies that are being generated and created. We've seen Down Flat, we've seen Terminator, Unavailable. All these Unavailable. We don't even know who did the dance.
Yeah,
we are seeing all these dance choreographies coming up. In fact, I think we even call it the way we term it wrongly. We call it dance challenges, but in actual fact, they are choreographies, right? Because you teach.
Yeah.
You teach someone a move.
Yes.
I noticed when the market women were dancing to Amaris Angels in Tibet, they were counting 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. And with my little knowledge of choreography back in church, when we used to dance, He Lives in Me, I was counting the same thing in my head, right?
The timing.
Yeah, timing. So that means there's even an art and a science to these choreographies, right? But is it that Afrobeats has not been able to capture that as part of the culture of Afrobeats, or we are just treating it individually? Okay,
so a little bit of ethnomusicology would help us to be smart about this whole Afrobeat movement.
Okay.
So what I'm saying is, if you study hip hop, you would see that hip hop. They tell you hip hop is not just a song or music; it's a culture,
lifestyle.
And the elements of culture they mention, they talk about the beatbox. They talk about the DJing, they talk about the MCing, they talk about graffiti, they talk about the dance, and then they even get into clothes. Like they mention about 9 elements, and all of these elements define hip-hop. These, like, it's written.
Okay.
I can't argue it. Those that it came from have made sure that the identification or the scoping of what they have done has been captured and is written, and generations yet unborn will always be able to make reference to it to learn. This has been the case of most songs or most music genres, but I don't know if they have been captured in that way for us to be able to say, this is what it is, and be able to learn from. So I said, in fact, the last time I visited this place, one of the things I mentioned was that Afrobeats, yeah, sweet, nice, all of that. Where is the fashion that is going with Afrobeats? Because if our big boys are
palazzo,
yeah, but
palazzo and show your stomach.
So all I'm saying is
that one it was funk.
Yeah, back in the day,
the funk guys.
Yeah, palazzo and show your stomach, Charlie. So the guys they dress on wheel.
So basically, if Afrobeats has center stage now, what fashion are we leading with this particular center stage attention? When Afrobeats gets played, what dance do we go along with that? It is the Afro dance. So this is where you, as a journalist, or anybody who's a journalist that is listening, on anybody within the space of documentation, should be able to put together the Afrobeats culture. Where we talk about the music, where we talk about the lingo.
Okay.
How people are forced to now sing in a particular way if they want to sing Afrobeats. How we talk about the dance, because you see, when it comes to the dance is like out there, and Ghana is actually in the forefront. If we say there are no wins anywhere, if you come to dance, Ghana really matters. Like, Ghana is a key player, and we are in the forefront because our people. People created dance moves here, and they got Janet Jackson dancing.
That's true.
Exactly.
That's right,
yeah. So we need to be able to understand that our people are in the forefront, and we need to be able to celebrate that. So back to the culture bit. So we can mention other things. So we have clothes. We can mention that, and then any other thing that goes along with the culture, and then we need to be able to create that, put it out there, so it's there. So when people want to ask and get info about the Afrobeats culture, that is the information that's available.
I'm loving this because.
Very much.
With hip hop, like you said, there was beatbox, there was this, there was that. I won't believe that these elements contributed or complemented what hip hop stood for. But in our digital age, where TikTok or influencer marketing is on all-time high, which from where you sit, having studied all these, historic elements that come with a culture, with music, would you say influencer marketing, or shall I say social media influencers, would be part of these elements that we should consider as part of Afrobeats culture? Because these are people who have really amplified the songs, and in a time where traditional media seem to have lost its power in terms of making a song big or not. These influencers have used their platforms one way or the other, especially on TikTok and Instagram, to contribute to the culture. Because I fear that even though we're having this conversation, we are focusing on a number of things. In the future, we'll have to come back and look at how we position these people, because there are already conversations about the fact that they make songs blow and all sort of things.
Yeah, I get that. And I'm not against anybody writing about it and positioning them in that particular way. Just make sure that you evaluate them from the perspective of the real thing being done. Is it a dance, or is it a platform, or is it both? Okay. And so that you'll be able to clearly say that this was done and it was placed on this particular platform, and this platform blew it up because a lot of people could access it.
Okay.
You understand what I'm saying?
So ideally, you don't want to give credit to one person. You want to give credit to the platform that made the person.
Yes, but you should be able to mention that in the age when Afrobeats was becoming big, a lot of credit
would go to this and that,
and go to the following platforms on social media, because that is what made it so big. You understand what I'm saying?
That makes sense.
At some points, you mentioned that you couldn't blow up music on traditional media. I disagree with you.
No, I'm saying that it seems as though in the dispensation we find ourselves in, traditional media does not really have that hold as it used to. Then it was just a singular power that it wielded, so that
Okay, so then what it used to
what
have,
it used to,
okay.
It has, I arguably I think it's been a beautiful marriage of digital and traditional, because I've seen the reverse. What's happening is now when a song becomes big on this, and then it goes to case in point, we talk about the rise of Asaka and how they didn't have the benefit or the luxury of going through traditional media, and I stand to be corrected. Even with the same for someone like Yao Talk,
they peaked from the digital space.
They peaked from the digital space, caught the attention of traditional media, and then they were playlisted. Do you get what I'm saying? And I'm not too sure if Afrobeats as a genre or as a movement has experienced some kind of a traditional rise. I think it's been heavy on the digital, with these dance choreographies and whatnot. Obviously, because of the attention span that is being reduced, either on TV or on radio, people are getting the news from the internet. Likewise, they are getting what's trending and what's happening on the internet, and then it transfers to traditional media. That's what I want to ask, so that it wouldn't look like when we are speaking on these matters, we will give credit to the wrong platforms.
I get you. I think what stands out for me 100% is the fact that the success of Afrobeats can never be said without dance playing it an important role.
Right.
Because it made the song visible on platforms.
Right.
Because without dance, all you hear is sound.
Right.
And dance is what makes music visible.
Right.
So the visibility is what gave it extra legs on the audiovisual platforms, whatever they may be,
right.
From TikTok to there were other platforms, I think, just like TikTok,
Instagram. So
whatever.
So Robert, would you say that then dancers do have a point when they talk about having some kind of consistent royalty, given?
Yes, it's one of the things. You see, so for example, somebody.
Are you saying that can they or should they?
They are claiming they will need it.
And it's a very strong.
As
It's a very strong point for conversation, because I was in Nigeria. There was a particular program, the dance workshop and conference, and I was on a panel. And P Square Peter was seen on the same panel, and then next to me was an entertainment journalist and an entertainment lawyer, and we're having this conversation, and we're talking about how dancers would be responsible for making huge contributions to music videos, which would now eventually become big and all of that. And of course, him being a dancer, he understood what we meant. And then we now spoke about the fact that on YouTube, all the royalties goes to
the artist.
The artists.
Yeah.
And then we also said, but who pays the dancer that gave off the dance moves to the artist? Because even though I came to dance it was originally probably created by somebody.
That's right.
So that particular somebody, that particular person also earned royalties.
Because interestingly, not to catch you, if the dancer also uploads its own choreography, just shot by themselves, and they put it on YouTube, YouTube will flag it.
Yes, YouTube will flag it, and the money would actually go to somebody else.
Artist, yes.
Somebody did a video like that, promoted it so heavily, 1 million streams on YouTube, and the person got $3, and all the money went to the artist.
Man.
And then the person now gave up. Like, Charlie, what's the point?
Man.
You understand what I'm saying? Because it was the person invested in the video,
how does that
did the production and all of
You
that.
should have started dancing with the song 10 seconds and mix it.
Imagine a song in his head and
Because,
dance away.
YouTube sometimes they struggle to pick that thing. So you dance 2 seconds with the song, no, like, tell me, then cut, then you do something.
Abena. Charlie, I wanted to know, in this scenario of royalties and extended earnings, in the fight choreography or cinema choreography, where maybe somebody will create a special fight move or create a fight scene that makes a movie highly successful, like John Wick, they don't ask for royalties and all that, because it's going to be a blockbuster and it's going to play in cinemas and it's going to be on streaming, and every time they play it and my fight scene was the nicest fight. They don't do that. They take their one-time fee and they bounce. How does that compare? Because I mean, choreography is choreography, and if it's about creating, they also create as much as the dancers create. In a system where they've already established this kind of business structure, do you think, and even abroad, I might be wrong, but I don't know, they earn royalties from their dance. How do you think? How realistic?
In Hollywood, talking about?
Yeah, in a man on it, like the people who build for Beyonce,
Right.
and she goes on tour.
Right.
I don't think every time they use your dance move, you are earning
I want
something.
To get you. When you say the people who build
Beyonce's album. You're a choreographer.
Right.
You choreograph 3 moves
She
for a
even
music
danced.
video.
She even took a dance of our
doing the
right. When you go on the
folklore model.
you understand?
Yeah.
Beyonce has toured the whole wherever with those dances, doing that whole
and
thing.
hasn't given us anything.
Somebody choreographed that thing. I forgot the person's name. So there was even a Ghanaian, I think a young girl.
Yeah, there was a Nigerian guy as well. Who
Exactly. So all those people came, took their check, and that's the world stage. Right. They are not even able to get Beyonce to pay royalties. Then why are we going to worry King Promise?
No, but is anybody worrying King Promise?
No. I'm saying that. Oh no, it's just a conversation. I'm saying that if Beyonce is paying J Foley, do the move for me, collect your payment, go home, bye bye. Mm-hmm. And Foley cannot track the earnings from my concert, music videos, anything, and say that he contributed anything. If he danced the own dance, they'll flag it.
Right.
And he's okay with that. He signed his MOU and NDA and he's gone home with his check. This conversation on the other side where people are trying to make it work, how realistic do you think it is?
So for me, it's a conversation that has started, and I think for as long as the conversation about IP increases, some of these things eventually will get to that point.
Yeah, because I mean, if YouTube will be able to flag a video when I mute the audio and just play it, then it should start. You should be able to. The AI should start being able to identify certain movements and say that is Dance God Lloyd's dance. He's registered, and anytime that movement is captured, it's for him.
Oh, okay, like record the moves.
Yeah,
so that anybody or
that's moves in that thing.
That is a challenge, but then it's worth investigating into, because you see, somebody may be responsible for the choreography, but the moves may not necessarily be his entirely.
Okay.
I picked up maybe muscle dance step, and I picked network dance step, and I picked maybe bohi dance step, and I put them all together, 3 of these dance steps, and put it together in a particular way to a particular sound. So then it's my choreography, but the moves are not necessarily mine. So I'm sure when a conversation is being held, those are some of the things they'll look into, just to be able to couch something that makes sense, because IP is funny, and right now it's becoming the ish thing, because that's the only way by which creatives actually get to secure their future and have their works patented, more or less.
Hey, so traditional dancers could actually tell you where you're coming from, and give you a whole history just by the dance move itself. Now, these street dances that we're seeing, is there in any way they are, I don't know whether it's going to be able to give you any identification?
Well, identification. So when you see the steps of Azonto.
Or am I asking 2 old questions?
No. I think
it's 2 broad, intellectual, heavy questions, and all of them feels like dissertation. Okay, but
so these are the things I worry about. I have I watched Chris Brown's recent video, sensational, and here's an American who's really, I don't know his anyway, I think he's American, who's really working hard in taking huge steps into the African market. Now, I keep listening to that song over and over again, and I am just amazed by the fine, almost perfect blend of our Afrobeats and R&B. Then I listen to the lyrics, and I'm listening to what he's saying in there, and he's trying to speak the pidgin. He's almost getting it right.
Hence the lingo aspect I mentioned there.
Yes, he's almost getting it right. And it's just a matter of time where it is polished, and soon AI will start seeing it for them. And then I watch his dance moves in there. In fact, then I watch the collaboration before the dance move. The collaboration, being intentional in featuring big artists Afrobeats artists from Africa. Then I watch the choreography in there. And I'm saying, who dances better than Chris Brown? And here's a guy polishing his African dance steps gradually. Now, fast forward 20 years from today, or let's go 30 years from today, because now the way the world is moving fast. January was yesterday. 30 years from today, or let me even be a bit more, extreme. Let's go 50 years from today. If we don't take care, who would tell that dance move that is in that video is African, or that dance move is typical R&B American dance style, because what are the documentation on our side to own this thing we called Afrobeat dancing or street dancing? You know, it's very, very difficult for us to, and that's one thing about Africans. Like we open the gates so wide, we don't put any measures, restrictions, policies, anything to own and keep it as ours. That if anybody is touching it, you should know where it's coming from. I do understand that somebody can say that, hey, Jay, no, that's my people. We're also taking their culture. We do, but once you touch anything of theirs, we know it's from their end. You know. I mean, now look, they're printing kente in China. You can't even tell the difference any longer, you know. And gradually, people in China think that kente is from their end. It's just not called kente. And ours now look very, very traditional and old. That you have to look through some bush before you find out it's from Ghana. You know, name Ashanti, the artist Ashanti. I don't know. I know Cyril help me. I heard that it is actually the Ashanti from our place.
Yep,
is it?
Yep.
But I bet you about 500,000 American kids in there don't even know about this. And ownership is now becoming that space. So I'm just wondering, in us opening up so much with this new style, this new street dance, which runs around with Afrobeats, if in any way we are also giving ourselves away with, I don't know how to put this question, but
so basically exposing what we have and not having the right resources and the tools
to hold on to it,
or perhaps give it an identity.
This is very heavy and very loaded. But the first thing I would say is go onto the social media platforms or internet right now. Even though the internet has been given to all of us for the purpose of knowledge, repository, etc., you realize that there's a lot about us that is not there.
Do we have names to these dances?
Yes, we have names to these dances.
These things and things.
Yeah, there are names to the dances.
Oh yeah.
So there's a collection of people who are doing what we call the Afro Dance Dictionary.
Okay.
It's Afro Dance Dictionary. So from A to Z.
Oh, nice.
Different dance moves and their names and all of that. There's an Ezunte Flex who's been doing the Azonto A to Z.
Okay.
And then there's a collective of Afro dancers who have done the Afro Dance Dictionary, so you can find different names to different dance types, and they update it as and when, because every time new dance.
So what do you call that one?
But it's one of the I think it's one of the South African moves. I forgot.
Oh, this is not. It's not even from us. It's not Ghanaian.
No, it's not from us.
It's from the piano. It's from the Shabatala Malagala.
And you for add the ice.
The ice to be moved. Yeah, if your ice not rolling, you spot the move.
Yeah, so it is what it is. So the Afro, because at the end of the day, there are so many dance types coming from different African parts of Africa, and you want to be able to capture all of these elements and place them there. So yes, some people have done it. They keep doing it, keep updating them, because dance is constantly evolving, it's growing, and you want to be able to add all the elements. So back to what I was saying earlier, we are failing to populate the internet with information about us. If we can do that and be loud about it clearly, because you see, I'm here, I'm looking for information. If I want to do research, it's easier. I can just type, hip hop, I'll get what the filler. Information about reggae, I type, and Bob Marley this, and you get how much money every information is there. If I want to type information about how much or what happened to the first Foresight program that Jay Foley hosted, I don't go find information. Yeah. Exactly. So that's what I'm saying. We are not putting out our information, because if you do, then nobody's going to put anything there and claim it is for somebody else. No, because if I did already, because the person would have gone onto the secondary information platform and would have found it. So that is one of the things that we need to be able to consciously do. So our info is out there. Then they can research and see it, because once you type, the info will be there before you actually put up anything. So that's one side. The other side is the fact that who we are and what we do will always be with us. However, when we open up, we also need to understand that just like currently we are wearing t-shirts, which we didn't really create. We are wearing, all the things we're wearing and the cars we are using and stuff like that. I mean, in the future, really, everything is going to be a global village, and we're just going to become one. I think the biggest challenge is identity. So if we can stamp our print upon it now, then what it means is identity will not be an issue in the future too.
I mean, we're already wearing ice jackets in the tropics, so it's cool. Rob, let me come.
So it's cool.
Yeah, play on the words, right? Pun intended. Anyway, let me now come to the dance festival. Tell us a bit about it now.
Yeah, so it's the 9th edition of we projecting the cause of dance. We're celebrating dance in various forms. So praise dance, traditional dance, Afro-Latin dance, dance sports, street dance. You know, we are doing all of these broad categories. And we're starting today at Gold Coast Restaurant as the opening.
So what's going to happen?
7 p.m. So today we are more or less like the kickoff, where we are going to have a few speeches, some performances to be able to set the ball rolling. Then tomorrow is for social dance night, and we are going to have Afro-Latin dance at Mensvik Hotel rooftop. And just down the opposite, we are going to Mad Club. So basically, it's anybody who wants to dance, because dance means different things to different people. So those who want to do social dance, because that's what's for them, then these are the two places we have available for this particular weekend. That's tomorrow.
Okay, so hold on. The NFA organized, I know our time is almost up, but NFA organized a film summit recently, and we were complaining about, poor show up of the stakeholders in the industry. The key stakeholders. What is it like in your space as well with this activity?
Oh, usually it's a lot. Like right now, the number of dancers registered are over 400.
Oh, wow.
Exactly, yeah. And Saturday is the finale, or the climax. We're starting from 10 a.m. and we are running all the way through till late. So 10 a.m. to 12, we have dance workshops, DWP, Edunte Flex. We have a guest from France who is actually a part of that, JC. And then we have Afro Back by Twitches. Then SNIT is going to meet dancers to discuss how they can secure pension. Because if you are not in the formal sector, then you're not really contributing, should I say. So they're going to have a conversation with us on how dancers can actually secure their pension. And from there, we go into dance battles. About 5 different dance battles going to happen, from praise dance to duo dance to group to singles, whatever, all the way through. Then performances. And like I mentioned, over 400 registrations already. And so Saturday is going to be well heated at the World Trade Center, and it's going to start from 10 a.m. So yeah, pretty much we're going to have the dance community being there. I think what we are doing now is trying to make the noise so other people can come into our space to see, because over the years it's always been a lot of dancers, but right now we need more of the general public to be able to come within our space to come and experience it. Wow. So more information available on Ghana Dance Festival on social media, so they can check it out, and then that should settle it for them.
Wow, Rob, thank you so much. This has been very insightful. Long time coming. I'm proud of you on this Ghana Dance Festival, and I know it's going to go fine. And I like the fact that organically, you have a lot of people who are already interested in being part of this event, and that's key for us. Now we need the key people who can drive the numbers to join this activation, because at the end of the day, it comes back to us. And and one of the things that excited me, you said in the beginning, was that in Africa, Ghana seems to be at the forefront with dance. And at least if we can't own the music and we can own the dance, and then now collaborate with the video directors who can put good films out there and create really cool dance movies to dance clips and all, I do believe that we can actually own the space heavy and allow our brothers to take the lyrics whilst we take the moves, if you understand. Yes. If you go to a party and you're going to sing, you won't get girl. If you dance there, it's all good. Rob, thank you so very much. You're looking forward. So this is Friday and Saturday, right?
Yeah, starting from tonight. So tonight, okay, Thursday, Friday. Yes, and then Friday is Mensvik and Mad, and then Saturday is the World Trade Center. That's like finale. Sunday is after party at Oak Plaza, but cool. Tomorrow, Saturday is the main show.
Well, you cannot go and dance and blow fuse, if you understand what I'm saying. So please make sure you brush your teeth with Pepsodent Cavity Fighter. It gives your teeth the protection they need, leaving you with 10 times stronger teeth. Fortified with pro-fluoride and micro-calcium ingredients, sealing tiny and invincible holes in your teeth, preventing cavities, keeping your teeth and your mouth strong and healthy. You can't be dancing and go like, ha, ha, and then when you go, ha, ha, then people collapse. On that note, we are out and back here same time tomorrow with more on Culture Daily. Stay tuned.